we're gonna clean that shop. Hey.
That brings tears to my eyes. Hey, Nick! You heard the kid. Clean the shop. Right on. Well, Scott, leg arms is off, finishing the barley. We'll hopefully get that wrapped up today. We're gonna take this drill, we're gonna clean out all the barley that's in it, as well as the fertilizer, and get it prepped over and switched to run canola for the first time ever on the farm. So that'll be kind of fun to try. We gotta put a small meter roller in, and then we're gotta set the depth and a couple calibrations, and then the fun happens. There's a chance that this might be the last time we run these drills. A chance. We'll see how this year goes, see if we can put enough money away this year with this year's crop, but I can't wait. I'm excited to get those upgraded. That'd be amazing. They're well used. Well used. Okay, empty with the seed. Let's go grab the fertilizer truck. I'll keep this thing nearby because Leg Arms is gonna need to fill up his drill with what's left in this machine. So sad being back here, poor guy. I forgot about him. We'll get him going. We got plans for him, don't worry. Bruto will live.
Today's going to be very interesting. I'm going to try to finish out the barley, finish putting that in the ground. My dad is going to empty out his drill, and they're going to convert it over to canola. So that way they can start putting some canola in the ground. Might finish the barley today, hopefully, and then we will start the canola, and we're only going to use one drill to do the canola. We're not going to use both. There's about 400 acres roughly of canola that we're going to put in. So yeah. Exciting, we're getting there. We're really close, but yeah, I just have this field here to finish, and then I got 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces to go through, so I should make some pretty good time and get things done. All right, fun.
What do you think? 30 grand right there. There's $650 a bag. Yeah, don't want to spill that, but that's our seed. So we're gonna get this drill calibrated. We got the fine meter roller in it. We're gonna get the bags, get it all lined up. Properly dump. We'll do one bag at a time because it's $650 every bag. So one bag in, run a calibration, carefully handle a seed, get it all set up. Then I gotta go get some 1152 fertilizer, which it's a blend that we're gonna use for this. Go get a load of that. We'll put some in here, and then I think when we're done with the barley, we'll get the other drill set up to use just nitrogen or just urea to put the nitrogen, and that'll seed ahead of this one. So we'll do 2 passes to get the nitrogen down, because the nitrogen or urea can burn the Invigor, the canola seed, if it's too close to it. So rather risking that, we'll have it put in ahead of time. So that's the plan. Let's get this thing calibrated and get our feet wet with canola. Well, I just finished. Every croppable acre on the farm has been sprayed. That feels so good. It's like over 10,000 acres knocked out. Ah, feels good. Guys are still seeding. They're not quite done yet. Canola is just about to begin. We're getting the ground prepped with some nitrogen. And guess what? I gotta spray the peas next. Grass herbicide. They're about ready to do. There's a lot of grass growing in them. So we gotta take care of that. Good stuff. And we gotta fix the brood. But I'll use this for the peas. All right, well, Leg Arms is back in the yard at the bud. He finished the last of the barley. It's gone, all of it. Gone. So now he's gonna fill up a straight urea, and he's gonna start seeding ahead, I should say, fertilizing ahead of my dad and his rig. And we're gonna get his canola going right now. He already waited a couple passes by himself with just urea down while Scott was seeding. So we've got acres that can have some canola put on it. So let's take this very expensive pallet of canola, follow my dad, and we're gonna do a couple bags at a time just to make sure it's calibrated right and coming out, because we definitely don't want to waste any more canola than we need to, and see what happens. First of the canola, let's go take a look. Yeah, looking for light blue colored seed, very tiny. Oh, there it is right there. First canola in the ground. Sweet, that's right where we want it. They say a ½ inch, about a ½ inch deep. At least you're near moisture. Fortunately, we've got moisture. We've got lots of moisture. You can see lots of moisture. This is tire tracks. Let's see what tire tracks looks like. Oh, I saw it. Where was it? It was there, I saw it. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is, right there. So far so good. It came out exactly at the acreage we wanted. So we're doing 4.5 pounds an acre. The bag says it can do 10.5 acres. We came in at about 10.5 acres. So that's exactly where we want to be. I did get a just call from Tony Fast, who's done canola for a number of years, and he was telling us we need to be putting it in a different tank, not the front tank. So we might switch it up, we'll see. It's coming out perfect right now. So we'll just keep running and see what happens, but I'm sure Tony's right on that. By the way, wasn't that a pretty rainbow? Just seals the deal, canola's the thing. Should have did the whole farm. Today might be the day, guys. Today might be the day. Got a fresh, large thing of fake coffee, ready to roll, new shirt on, feeling good. We're gonna finish spring planting 2021 today, the most acres we've ever planted on the entire farm. It might happen. We've got about 340 acres to go, one drill seeding ahead with fertilizer, and we're on track. So let's get her done. Let's go see what Dad's doing, see if he needs help loading the drill, and we'll make it work. All right. I guess you can drive it again. You've only had like 7,000 acres on it, give or take. He's driven that bud this entire season, poor guy. That's what he gets for doing all that work to it. No, I got it, back off. So something pretty cool happened I just caught. We just surpassed 100 million views on YouTube. 100 million views. That is astronomical. I know there's a couple videos out there on YouTube that get 100 million views in a week, but still, I'm thoroughly grateful and thankful to all of you guys who've been watching and supporting us along the way. Thank you so much. And we're almost gonna hit 500,000 subs here soon. Technically, looks like about end of July to the beginning of August. We'll be in harvest when it happens, but if you guys want to help us out with that, don't hesitate. Click the subscribe button. But other than that, 100 million views. Thank you all. Appreciate it. It's very possible that today is the last day of me being in this tractor. I finished up barley yesterday, so we have our yellow peas. It's about 3,000 acres in, almost 5,000 acres of spring wheat, and I don't know if we quite got to 1,800 acres of barley. We'll have to count the pieces and see how many fields we've got in and all that stuff. But we finished up barley yesterday, that's all that matters. Now, we're starting to do canola. And what I'm doing right now is the 600 Big Bud, I'm just putting fertilizer down into the ground. What we're told is the canola can get burned by the fertilizer next to the seed, and we want to put a little bit of extra fertilizer on. So what we're doing is we're going to rip the ground with this tractor, put fertilizer down,
and which is I'm just doing urea, and then later on when I'm done with this field, Dad will come over with his tractor that's got the canola, and he's got another blend of fertilizer in his, and then he'll start seeding into this one or planting into this one. So the idea behind it is we can put more fertilizer down in the ground. We don't have to top dress. The ground's going to be a little bit more mellow. It's going to be fluffed up a little bit. And when the canola seed comes in, it might be a pretty good seed bed for it. But that's something, well, we've never planted canola before, so this is a new experience. Now, is this the right way to do it? I don't know, but we're going to go ahead and try this method and see what happens. And if it doesn't work out very well, then we don't do this method again in the future. But if it seems to work out fairly well, maybe we'll keep doing this. I don't know. But that's just the joy of farming. You try a method, sometimes it works great, conditions are great, and you stick with it. And it works well for a long time. Other times, well, you know not to do that again. At least that's the idea. But making progress.
She's been leaking a little bit of 50-weight transmission oil. We know where, but we're just topping it off, and we'll get her fixed. When we put that transmission in 2 years ago, probably used the wrong gasket sealer on the top, and it just is slowly seeping out. So just got to keep her topped off. Oil's cheap, transmissions aren't. Keep adding oil. We'll get her fixed. I'm gonna go spray some peas because I love spraying. You guys know that. I just would love to do it in a really, really, really fancy sprayer. But this'll do. It's got air conditioning, an air ride seat, a cup holder, and a USB port on the monitor. So what else do I need?
Well, there we have it, guys. I'm on my very last pass of putting fertilizer down. I'm just about out. Actually, it says I'm out. It just hasn't given me an alarm yet. But my intelligent egg up here is telling me that I'm still putting down fertilizer because I can see my count number hasn't dropped yet. Which is awesome because this thing might be saying, you got nothing left. But that thing's saying, you're still putting down something. So it's pretty sweet. But saying that, 2021 for this big bud right here, I think it's just about up. Unless we do winter wheat. You know, we can do winter wheat later on if the conditions are good. But for the time being, this thing's basically good.
I am so thankful taking care of these grasses right now. It's a mat out here. This land needed this bad. That's just what's so exciting about growing stuff like yellow peas in an area that we struggle with cheatgrass and wild oats. I'm decimated here right now. I mean, the peas are gonna grow up and be beautiful, and the grasses are gonna be gone. Last year, we had grasses that choked a lot of our peas because I did not get them sprayed in time. We just got busy, stuff was going on. By the time I got to the field, the grass was already so established it choked out the peas. Not happening this year because I'm on top of it. I'm making it happen. So I'm excited about that, but I've only got a couple days to do it because we're just about to finish planting 2021. Canola only about 200 acres left. Gonna finish that tomorrow. And then in 2 days, we all head to the lake house, which I have not shown you guys very much. And I'm gonna change that. So there's a lot that's happened at that place, and it's time for a big update. We're gonna go build a new deck. We gotta rip the old one off, build a whole new one. It's gonna be big, it's gonna be beautiful, and it's gonna be awesome to stand on and look at the lake. So I got Wiggles hired, he's coming. My dad, my brother. So stay tuned for that video. You guys are gonna like it. But I gotta get this done now.
There we have it, guys. Tomorrow, I'll wash this thing off, clean up the cab a little bit, just blow it out, grab a few items. Wash this thing off tomorrow. And it's very possible, guys, very possible, that might be the last time we use this thing. That's a 2000. That's a few years old. Just so you guys know, the first air drill I ever seeded with, this one right here. Not the cart, because that cart is actually a different cart. It was a 3450 cart that came with this, and then we found this bigger one and bought that one, but I think it's about time to retire that. I've broke so many shanks and had a lot of other problems with it, and bushings and everything. It's pretty wore out. If you factor in 21 years, and you factor how many acres we go through, and the owners before us that had it, because we didn't buy it new, we bought it used. It's pretty used.
it's pretty wore out. And I think it's about time to retire it. At least that's the plan. But if we don't have a very good year this year, we will definitely fix it up and try to run it again. But if we have a good year and we're able to make it happen, we'll keep the cart and change out the toolbar. At least that's the plan. But that's exciting, guys. Exciting to be done with that a little bit. But we're not officially done yet because Dad's still seeding canola, so.
Leg arms. I think you left this in the field when you were seeding earlier. Oh, there's like $100 there. More like 200. Find a place for it on the frame. Where could I put you? Father's Day's coming up. Get your dad something special. He's of a great vintage. Right here. This season's getting warmer and I'm well seasoned, so I should know. So anyway, go to Welker Farms merch website. Actually Farm Focus you can find it on. But yeah, Welker Farms Inc. merch. And you can order one of these t-shirts and hopefully get it to your dad in time for that special day. I'm vintage. Last field, about 4 more rounds up and down. And then it's in the bag. Anyway, yeah, one of the comments asked, how was it when you started first seeding back in my day? All right, yeah, well, I got started running a John Deere 4010. And we also had a 5010 with a 5020 engine eventually. But that 4010, I remember pulling 4 8-foot hoe drills. They were 10-inch, and I was seeding winter wheat that fall. And of course, there was no guidance. So I had to learn how to drive a straight line without a whole lot of lap. Well, at 32 feet, because they were 8-foot drills, there were 4 of them, that seemed like pretty big, which is not anymore. But, you know, at that age, you're able to do a lot of things, and that's one of the things that I was able to do. You're a good boy. You're a little hot in that sun. He needs to remove his outerwear. And he does, all during the summer, one hair at a time.
We are officially done and done. This is the drill that was seeding canola. I washed off the other drill, just cleaned out, took out the rollers, and cleaned it all up, washed it out, make sure there's no fertilizer chunks and there's not as much corrosion. Stainless steel is gonna help a lot on corrosion, but it still corrodes, it just takes a lot longer. But anyways, this one's cleaned up. Now let's go park it, disconnect the bud, and then I gotta wash the buds off and wash the trucks out because they had fertilizer, and put the trucks away. There's a few things to do still. Even though we're done planning, we're not done. We still have work to do. A lot of work. All right, let's go park this beast.
So as of right now, I've got about 1,600 acres sprayed of yellow peas. They're young, but there's grasses growing and it needs done. And because I didn't put any type of grass herbicide down when I put the pre-emergent down, I'm taking care of that now. So basically I saved about $6,000 by waiting to spray grasses until now. Now there could be a potential of another flush that comes up after I spray, because typically you'd wait a little longer to spray the grasses. But I'm gonna risk it and see if $6,000 pays off or not. If it doesn't, then I'll make that mistake, or not make that mistake next year. But we're getting there. Hopefully, if I get a haul in today, a nice big push, we'll get all 2,900 acres of yellow peas planted, and then we can take off for a week, because spring planting is done. Ah, it feels so good, it's done.
and we can go on and have a little bit of vacation, building a deck. Yeah, that sounds like a great vacation.
So this was about mid-planted of the pea season, and there's a lot of grass growing. This has been post-sprayed with broadleaf spray, so the broadleaves are under control, but the grasses are the problem now. See all that? A lot of that's volunteer. That's grain from last year that's growing this year. Don't want that. This is supposed to be peas, not wheat. We don't want wheat growing in this. They're growing right along. Look at that. Isn't that amazing? These things do not take long. That's why we love these peas so much in this country, because our rain window is so narrow and these grow so fast, and you can plant them really early, like pretty much in the frost. They take advantage of the moisture that a lot of other crops can't, because they're still growing to be mature. By the time they're mature, it's already droughting here. So, I'm glad I'm here. It is bad. There is a lot of grass growing in this, a lot of grass, and I would not want to take it any longer. So, I'm really thankful that we decided to jump on this now. Great timing, great weather. There's literally no wind. That's like a really rare thing around these parts. Moisture, and next week, they're talking like 1.5 inches of rain. So, big crop 2021.
Got the broom. Gotta go sweep out the building so I can put these away. But the buds are clean, guys. All washed up. They're drying in the sun. And then once it's dry enough, I'll put them in the building, and that can be that for those buds. I still have to wash the 435 bud and Big Brute and the 9370 if I get a chance to do that, and put that stuff away. And oh yeah, I gotta change the ECM on the 435 because we got that back, and then put the old other ECM onto the blue for our blue Peterbilt. So yeah, there's still some stuff to do, but it's time to sweep this building so that way it's a little clean, and then we can see the oil spots that the tractors drip underneath on the floor for kicks and giggles. Yeah, let's get some more stuff done, because it just never ends. There's always something to do. That's much better. Although, I think we're missing something.
I can't even begin to describe how much I'm chomping at the bit to get out of this sprayer. It's just been a lot of spraying, and I am ready to get out of here and quit farming for a little bit. But these peas have got to get done, so this is essential. But once I'm done with this, then I got to go do a bunch of computer work, pack. Tomorrow we head to the lake house, go do a deck. And I've got about 2,600 acres done out of 2,900, so that's only 300 to go.
It's been a very busy day. Washing tractors, washing trucks, washing other stuff, getting water, and making sure that Nick can see or spray. And then I wasn't able to clean off the 435 bud because for some reason it wouldn't start. I'll have to figure that out. Don't know why. It's probably a fuel related issue, but I just messed with it for a while, couldn't figure it out, so I'll mess with that later. But it is time to put these two tractors in the shed. So 5 1/4, you're going first. You're gonna be in the very back, then the 600, Big Brute, and then 9370. Let's put them in the shed.
Last 5 acres. I can make it. I can make it. We're almost there. I'm almost out of chemical. I think it's gonna be up perfect, which is, I guess, what should happen when you use the mix mate. That mix mate keeps really good tabs of the chemical, and I think it's gonna come out exactly how we want it. So we'll see how close we are. It says I'm out, but I'm still spraying, and I've got about probably 100 feet to go. Yep, there we are. And we're done. Barely made it home.